So I'm going to be talking about The Last Policeman by Ben H. Winters. So this is kind of a classic whodunit tale, but it also has a sci-fi twist. The book opens with the main character, Detective Henry Pallis, investigating an apparent suicide by Peter Zell, who is an insurance salesman. Pallis, however, thinks that it might have been a murder. The Concord Police Department assumes that the death is a suicide because people have been hanging themselves left and right all over the world ever since they heard the news. And the news is, and this is the sci fi twist, that a giant meteor or asteroid is about to hit Earth, and basically everything will either blow up or freeze, ending the existence of everything. So our main character, Detective Pallis, he's very practical and he knows for sure that the world is going to be ending. But he's also a very devoted detective, and so he's investigating Zell's murder anyway because he just instinctually knows that it wasn't a suicide. This says a lot about the character Detective Pallis. He's a policeman through and through, and his job is the most important thing to him. You could say that he is pretty much the last policeman because nobody else cares anymore. So, other than the fact that there's a huge asteroid about to strike Earth, the story plays out like kind of your typical crime drama. There's an array of suspects, there's a drug dealer, a femme fatale, everybody's lying all over the place and making up backstories. We don't know if they're true or not. The characters are kind of familiar, but they do exist in this world that is ending, and it makes them more desperate and kind of changes their motives a little bit. So, overall, I did enjoy this book. It was a really fun read despite all the serious themes themes of obviously death, suicide, there's some drug abuse, everybody's about to die. But what made it fun was the narrator, Henry Pallis. He's got a very dark sense of humor. He makes a lot of jokes, and some of them are a little bit dad joke like, but overall it was fun. It reminded me of like a film noir, that classic kind of black and white scene where like a really attractive woman walks into a detective's office and everybody talks kind of like in nuances, and yeah, it was overall a pretty fun read. So I did appreciate the overall vibe of this book. I did have some issues though with the murder mystery arc because I really thought that it was going to be solvable, in the sense that like I could play along and there would be lots of clues. I admit that I'm new to the genre, so maybe this just isn't how it goes, but um, it was much like an episode of Law and Order where I'm like trying to guess who did it and who's innocent, and I was basically all wrong. Um, there was, though, a red herring towards the end of the book, kind of a misleading clue, which threw me off, and I did kind of appreciate that. So I would recommend this book for people who are interested in both crime dramas and sci-fi. I think definitely the murder mystery is the focus of the book, but the sci-fi element is kind of what like throws that murder mystery into a new territory. I liked that this book didn't take itself too seriously. It kind of like had fun with the genre, and it was a fun read, and it put a sci-fi twist on a classic detective tale.